Yo, what's up guys? So today I'm teaching you how to do the push through false shuffle used by gamblers and magicians alike. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so real quick, I noticed that maybe about 50% of you who watch my videos aren't even subscribed, so it doesn't take very long, it doesn't require anything on your part. Just real quick, if you wouldn't mind, it would help me out so much if you could just click that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. My goal is 10K by the end of the year, and I know you guys can help me do that, so let's do it. Let's just do it. All right, on with the shuffle. Alright, so the foundation for a good fall shuffle is a good and smooth actual shuffle, alright? So it's a good idea, if you've never really done a table shuffle before, it's a good idea to go ahead and get good and smooth at doing that first, like the real thing first. And a quick overview of how that looks, all you do here is you split about half the deck and you cut them to the side like this, alright? So it doesn't really matter which way you do it. You know, as you can see, my right hand is cutting to the right and my left hand is cutting to the left. It doesn't matter how you do it that way for a real shuffle, but it will matter later on when you're doing the fake shuffle. Alright, so for now, just do it however you're comfortable and then roll with that. So finger positions, what you want to do is curl your index fingers on top of the deck like this, and your other three fingers are just on the side like this, just right there in the middle of the side of the deck. And then your thumbs are at the back, so they can riffle up the back of the cards like this, and your index finger is curled like that, so you can facilitate the riffle with your thumbs. So next, all you do is make sure the corners that are facing you are together, right? So you're looking at a V shape right now, okay? So in your POV, you are looking at a V, okay? So the audience are looking at a tent shape, okay, if that makes any sense. So what you're gonna do is when you riffle up, make sure those corners meet like this, okay? So when you bend up, make sure the corners sort of touch, all right? So they'll sort of touch like this, and then riffle down with the packet, the bottom packet first, and then riffle like this, and then they'll just mesh together, and then using your ring fingers, you will just push those in like this, and then square everything up. So once you get good at doing the real shuffle, now it's going to be time to perform the fake shuffle, alright? So it's actually very easy, so don't be discouraged, alright? So again, just get good at this fake shuffle. As you can see, every time I do the push in, I'm using my ring fingers on the ends of the deck like this to push them in. And that's all you really need to know for the fake shuffle. So for the fake shuffle, whichever hand you're moving the top half away with, that's the hand you want to carry away a smaller portion than the bottom portion. In my case, I'm using my left hand to move to the left. So either case for you, that's what you want to do. So what we're going to do here is move maybe a fourth of the deck, all right? So a quarter of the deck away like this to the left. Now what you're going to do is with the larger half, you're going to start riffling a bed of cards, maybe, I don't know, 15 or so cards onto the table first, and then you riffle the smaller portion into the middle and finish with about 15 cards from the larger portion. So essentially what you're doing is you're shuffling the smaller portion into the bigger portion, as you can see right there. Now as before, you're going to push the cards into each other with your ring fingers again, only this time you're going to push them in from the corners of the cards, okay? So this is going to be an exposed view, but normally you would have all your fingers touching like this, so nothing can be seen from the front, all right? So from exposed view, this is what's happening, all right? So just like sort of a diagonal push-in, when you're doing like a DPS, it's the same concept. It's going to going diagonally, all right? So this is exposed view with your ring fingers at the corners instead of at the back in the middle. You're going to move up into the corners with your third fingers, all right? So it's going to look like this. So they move in, but they're not going flush. As you can see, they're going in diagonally. And then with your middle finger and your thumbs, you're going to square those up just like this. So what's happened now is that smaller portion basically moved through the deck to the other side. Again, here just like this, the smaller cutoff, the bed of cards goes first, smaller portion goes into the bigger portion like this, but at speed, you know, it's just looks like a shuffle, just like that, okay? So exposed view again, start to push in, and then when you're about right here, you can do it from the center of the backs, when you're about an inch away from being flush, all right? So when you're about here, pushing them in, sort of readjust and square up your fingers and move them in at the front so nothing can be seen through the windows. And you go like this, and you do that diagonal pushing like I taught you, although this time, as you can see, nothing can be seen through the fingers, all right? So you do that pushing, and then you're like this in this case. I mean, you can even get away with doing it like this all the way on the sides because that just looks like a deck of cards. But if I move my hands away, you can see the true condition. So these fingers cover everything, all right? So now what's going to happen is you want to delay it, all right? So you don't want to push them in and then immediately strip them out, all right? So the strip out comes at sort of a delay, all right? So what you want to do, this is actually learned this from Daniel Madison. What he does is he sort of riffles the back like this to sort of give it an air of like completeness, all right? Like the shuffle is complete. Now you will appear to cut the deck, but what really happens is you strip these cards out from the deck, all right? So the smaller portion, you just strip them out, all right? You just pull them right out, and it will look like you're just cutting the deck. So the mechanics of that is you want to take your third finger or your ring finger and your thumb and contact that smaller portion that's sticking out like this, right? Just contact the end of the cards like this. This is exposed view. You're just doing that, all right? So essentially, you're going to just strip them out like this. You can see what's happening right now, just being stripped out like this. But at speed, when you do it, it looks like you're just cutting the deck. Now, there's a few options to go from here, right? So you can either do a up the ladder cut, which is this. When you strip them out, just bring them back in a sort of a circular motion like this. And then what you're going to do is put them out jogged like this on top of the deck, but take a bottom portion like this right there, and then do that again. Then put them flush with the deck, and then with the remaining out jogs, just take them out and put them on top. So at speed, it looks like this. So you do the shuffle, all right, do the push through, do the strip out, and at speed, it looks like that. So it's a strip out and it's a running cut, but that cut does nothing. It's just an up the ladder cut, which retains the entire deck, all right? So again, you take them out like this, all right? Put them in an out jog position, like this, steady them there with your middle finger and thumb. Take a bottom portion out from that out jog portion, put those on top flush, take the remaining out jog, put them on top, and that is a completely false. So what I did in the performance is kind of similar. It sort of relates to a Hindu shuffle, or like a Hindu shuffle, right? So you strip them out like this, and then what you're going to do is take a bottom portion off with this hand, all right? So take a bottom portion off like this, and then just slap the remaining on top, and that's also false, all right? So at speed, again, it looks really good, all right? So you do the shuffle, and you're like this, and that's completely false. If you want to do just a straight cut, you can also do that as well, all right? So in this case, instead of this hand moving that way, you're going to move the opposite hand this way, all right? So what I mean by that is this. So you do the shuffle like normal, like this, do the push through and the strip out, only this time you strip out the larger portion, all right? So you move it this way, so you're like this, and a good touch is when you strip it out, sort of move your hand up like this, so you're turning your wrist toward yourself, and you're like this, and then you put the larger portion there, and then the smaller portion on top, just like a real cut would be. Alright, so that'll do it for today. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and I hope you learned something new. Maybe you know the shuffle before, but maybe the false cuts and stuff, maybe it's something new to you, or maybe the whole thing is new to you. I don't know. In any case, really appreciate you. I really do. Until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.